Oklahoma. And that is how we get here today. North Texas will be going from left to right to start things off in the all-white uniforms, striped with the green and white on the front, white numbers on the front and the back. And Oklahoma in the road crimson uniforms with the white numbers on the front and back as well. Oklahoma starts with possession. They work to the right side initially before trying to push into that attacking third, and that's exactly what Matt Mott wants to do, Laura, is get the attacking third underway early because he does not want to waste time trying to test North Texas's back line.
The thing is with both of these teams, they have a lot of speed, so they're not going to waste any time trying to get that ball up as fast as possible so that they can utilize that speed, run onto the ball, and then get shots off.
There's the first shot, left foot shot into the box. Worked into that 18-foot mark, and now we are working outside. Back to Oklahoma, controlling possession here in the first minute of action. Ball put right to the top of the foul box and now headed away by North Texas. Nice job keeping it in play by Pappas. Foul called outside the box on the left, and maybe an early booking here, and it is. An early yellow card for North Texas on the risky challenge from Abby Major, the captain and the redshirt junior.
I know it was a foul, but I think a little aggressive there for the referee to already pull a yellow in this game. I like the pressure that Major had there, but just got tripped up with her feet and lost control of the ball.
Major, the redshirt junior, and a transfer from Mississippi State, giving a quick SEC physical open to the newest member of the SEC. Oklahoma in their first ever match in any sport as members of the Southeastern Conference. They say it just means more. Well, I can guarantee you the American has something to say about that. The American Athletic Conference, second year that North Texas has been a member of that league, and they were challenged significantly. Had just 2 wins in the American last year, looking to improve upon that under Coach John Hedlund in his 30th season. Cross into the box, and it is punched out by Maddie Ogden. Ogden is a key member of this North Texas program that Hedlund is relying on this season. Now we've got a breakaway on the opposite end, straight off of the set piece, and a little contact made as Flannery is upended, and the advantage is played for Oklahoma. They don't win possession, so a foul call.
Well done by OU's Meredith King to track back, because Flannery, she's got a lot of speed. It all started with Ogden there punching the ball out of the box, being aggressive, and well done for Flannery to track that ball down. I love how aggressive she is. Flannery, she does play forward, but there's a lot of defensive style to her play. She's not afraid to get in there on the defensive side as well.
Homegrown product for Coach Hedlund. Flannery played at Lebanon Trail High School, about 20 minutes away in Frisco. Frisco, a hotbed of talent for both men's and women's soccer. Foul called against Oklahoma, or no, against North Texas, as there's an OU Sooner down. That's Leo Weber, the senior from Germany, shaken up. She'll be checked on quickly.
Yeah, that's a player that the Sooners, they do not want to lose. I mean, even Coach Hedlund, he had scouted her out. She's a big player. She can really hold the ball well, and she's physical. So the fact that she was able to get knocked down says a lot, because she's tough.
Yeah, Weber played in 20 games, 18 starts for Oklahoma last year, had 5 goals and 5 assists, was one of the leading goal scorers for Oklahoma last year, was second on the team and had over 1,300 minutes of gameplay. She was used significantly. So we take a look at our officials for the evening, all headed up by Soren Stoika. Stoika, a veteran official, leading this group of 5. 4 on the pitch there, and then our observer off to the side, Kyle Atkins, completes the officials for this season opener in NCAA action. Weber is up and walking off the pitch as we speak. She'll be attended to by the Oklahoma training staff, at least at the moment. It is a hot day, so a break early on isn't going to necessarily hurt anybody.
Yeah, the referees, they're going to be busy today, so they can use the break as well. I mean, these two teams, they're known for being very physical with each other. The last time they played in 2022, there was 20 fouls, 5 yellow cards. We've already seen one in this game, so that physicality seems to be carrying over into this year.
You see Morgan O'Connor. She'll give way now for Pappas. North Texas trying to set up here off of the free kick, the injury kick. Pappas would take it. Strikes with the right foot, puts it in the top of the box, cleared away by North Texas. Both of these programs stout on the back line. It's going to be tough to score today, though we already have seen one chance for Oklahoma and nearly one for North Texas on the counter.
And speaking of defense for North Texas, newer faces to this team, 12 freshmen, but their back line, they have a lot of returners with Roebuck and Major back there. No pun intended, but they're both going to play major roles in the back line, holding it down.
Both programs full of new faces, full of transfers from all over the country, and both teams have had some significant action working into the season opener. North Texas had a chance to exhibition at Colorado, a 4-3 loss on Saturday in their last exhibition, got things working to go, and that's because North Texas knows how to start a season off right. I mean, 12 straight wins in a season opener dating back to 2012, and they haven't lost in a season opener since 2005. A couple draws back in there, that last draw coming back in 2012. And Laura, if you have a streak like that, you're doing something right, and John Hedlund certainly knows how to get his team ready to go.
Oh, I know, and he's never had a losing season since he started this program in 1995. There's some stats. I have to read it 2 times just to make sure I read it right, because it's unbelievable the success this team has had, and they've never wavered.
It is a tradition unlike any other here in North Texas. Hedlund already the winningest North Texas head coach in any sport all time. He is just 7 wins away from notching number 400. Of course, coming off of a year where they won 8 matches last year in what I think Hedlund would describe as a down year for the program. They have 7 wins on the mind, and they want to try and reach that early, starting off with a big one against Oklahoma here. Oklahoma's looking at it on the opposite side and says, hey, streaks like that are meant to come to an end. 12 straight wins at the start of the season. Oklahoma's trying to bring it into that and start a streak of their own in terms of SEC play.
Absolutely. This is a very spirited rivalry. I know they're not conference foes, but they know each other well. They played each other in the spring, and Coach Hedlund talked about this game is so important, not only because it will be a factor in their RPI, but both Oklahoma and North Texas, they recruit heavily here in North Texas. Coach Hedlund talked about this game has implications for the future because they do recruit here in the DFW area. There's recruits watching this game seeing, okay, which team am I going to pick? And based off the results, that choice could be swayed.
And more so, probably a factor for North Texas. Of course, a team that doesn't have the same name recognition as a athletic powerhouse like Oklahoma. But in the DFW Metroplex, North Texas has a reputation of winning soccer matches year in and year out. Out of the 269 student athletes that have played for North Texas soccer under John Hedlund, 241 of those, that's nearly 90%, have come from the state of Texas. And a big chunk of that also from the DFW Metroplex, where, like you talked about, has all that soccer talent that you can pull from.
Absolutely. And we know Oklahoma, they might have the bigger name, the bigger conference tied to them, but you have to give it to North Texas. They do have the overall winning record over Oklahoma. The Mean Green, they're 6-3-1 going against the Sooners.
Trying to avenge a 2022 loss, a 3-2 match. That was an instant classic, as Laura alluded to a moment ago. This one, far side, kept in play. No, it was not. Whistled out of bounds. Last touch by North Texas. Both teams kind of jockeying for position early on. We mentioned the one chance from OU. They did have another shot on goal a couple moments later, but outside of that, really nothing going attack-wise and into the attacking third for either program here in the opening 8 minutes.
You know, I wouldn't have been surprised either way if this started off really fiery and quick, or if it, both teams took their time trying to get comfortable, find their rhythm as they start this game, because this really is the official first game of the season. So there might be some nerves going on right now as they try to get their rhythm.
Foul committed that time. North Texas, no card. O'Connor was upended.
Really strong presence there by Roebuck. She's probably one of the most physical, strong players for the Mean Green, so not surprised to see she was at the end of that foul, and she quickly jogged away just to make sure she didn't get that yellow. Don't want to interact with the referee too long. Don't want to hang around so we can pull that card out.
It is the second set piece for Oklahoma. The Sooners set up with Sophia Green, the graduate transfer from Omaha. And 19 starts for Omaha last year, 10 goals. She was the Summit League Offensive Player of the Year, and she'll look to try and spark something early for the Sooners off the free kick.
Yeah, she led the Big 12 with those 10 goals too.
This one left side, and that one is grabbed by Ogden, tracked it all the way in.
Not a bad service there by Green, probably a little too direct. Ogden, she's one of those players, she's not going to be afraid to come off her line. So when you send those balls into the box, you want to make sure you pull it out of Ogden's peripheral and range, because Ogden, she'll go all over the box to get that stop.
You got to see a little bit of the leg from Maddie Ogden. Ogden has a phenomenal leg, can put it into the attacking third from her own goal box. And she did so there, setting it to the feet of Bailey Wesco. That's going to be a battle between Wesco and then the left back and Andy Wolf all night long. Get ready for that one as North Texas sets up their first corner. This one ricochets off of the right back, Cassie Clifton. Clifton kind of going back and forth. OU will shift that back line. They feel really confident with their three defenders in Clifton, Wolf, and then Kaylee England, who started as a midfielder early in her career and works backwards. But that could lead to opportunities, especially on a counter for North Texas.
I think it's pretty gutsy for both teams. They're both playing with three backs, so that just goes to show how confident they feel with just three people rather than your typical four on the back line.
It is Bernard selected for the free kick with Flannery close by. Put it in the box. This one bounds around, and then coming forward is Caroline Duffy. And the transfer from Duke corrals it for the first time. First opportunity to take a look at Duffy. Really lots of expectation around her as a high-level transfer. Of course, the staff around Oklahoma really excited at what she brings. Could be an all-region player in the SEC for Oklahoma if she has the year that they anticipate.
Absolutely. She might not have played a ton over at Duke, but she's never had a goal scored on her in her college career so far. And just being in a program like Duke, you have got to be a high caliber, high IQ player. And I'm sure she took a lot of notes from being in a program like that she's going to carry over at Norman.
Did not play a whole lot during her time in Durham, but learned a lot as this pure number 2 for the Blue Devils last year.
And we're getting another look at that corner kick from North Texas. Not the best service, but the Mean Green, they did a good job getting onto the end of it. Tried to get the volley, just couldn't make good contact.
This one all the way to the back line and out of play for a goal kick. Ogden will corral for North Texas. Two good goalkeepers in a battle, and we talked about how tough it will be to score in this match. And both teams have not wasted any time. They've gotten into their attacking third when given the opportunity. But even then, with as stout as these two back lines are and as good as these goalkeepers are in net, it is not a cakewalk for any forward tonight.
No, it's going to take a lot of work and effort from both sides to be able to score on these goalkeepers.
This one will trickle all the way back into the defensive third for Oklahoma. No other decision than to kick it out of play. King got back but had to put it on the goal line, and now a corner again for North Texas, their second in as many minutes.
I tell you, King, she's got some wheels on her because she's keeping up with Flannery's pace. Flannery, she's fast. She's one of the fastest, probably in the AAC, the conference in general, especially here in North Texas. And she's keeping up with Flannery.
You know, Matt Mott is excited to see Meredith King, who committed to Mott's staff during his time at Ole Miss. Then Mott makes the move to Oklahoma, and Mott finally gets King to Norman. This one headed over the crossbar and out of play. Good opportunity that time for Summer Brown. Maybe the first real look, and both Brown and Abby Major were close but couldn't put it on net.
That was a beautiful service for the Mean Green to run on to. Abby Major, the one who got to the end of that one. On the header, she was just a little bit too much underneath the ball as it popped up over the crossbar. Would have liked her to see her use her abs, use her core to hit that ball downward and get it more on frame.
It is the season opener for everybody as we take another look at it. You can see the frustration. That doesn't look like season opening frustration. Abby Major expected that one to go in because it was a phenomenal setup.
And she's got high standards for herself. She is a captain on this team, and Coach Hedlund had a lot of great things to say about her, saying she leads by examples. And with them being a younger team this year, he has no worries that they're going to be able to play like veterans because of the type of leadership that he has from his captains.
This one put into the box. Great look in front of Ogden, a collision inside the goalie box. Pappas had an opportunity on the feed from O'Connor, but Ogden's there to snuff it out.
Ogden doing a great job coming off of her line because Pappas, like you said, she was right there and she got her foot on the ball. Had Ogden not come out, that could have very easily been a goal. It looked like Jacqueline Barnes just lost track of her mark, and Pappas able to run in and challenge Ogden.
And for Pappas as a senior to work on the backside, that backdoor cut like that, making a great run initially. Might have been the best opportunity so far for the Sooners.
And as we could see on the stat there, already have 7 fouls in this game. So we're on par to the 20 that happened in the last game back in 2022.
May surpass it by the end of the night.
Not even 15 minutes in, already got 6-7 fouls.
Here's Brown, marked quickly by Clifton. Summer Brown's not going to have a ton of room to work, it appears, because both King and Clifton are closing in quickly.
Yeah, the Sooners, they're doing a great job with their back line, staying on the backs of Wesco, Flannery, Bailey. Those are 3 players you do not want them to turn on you because they will beat you with their speed.
You have the feeling, like you said, about 15 minutes into this one, that whoever has the best look on a counterattack may have the best chance at winning this match, as near post this time goes Wesco on her first attempt. And that's an easy save there for Caroline Duffy.
Yeah, you're going to have to challenge Duffy a little bit more than that if you're going to get a ball past her. Brown, though, doing a good job. She was far outside the box, way on the right side, able to still turn her hips and at least get it on frame. Ideally would have liked to see her get more of a cross off or one of her teammates to run onto and deflect in, but still a good look for North Texas. I think the key just right now is you do want to try to get some shots off. Feel comfortable, feel confident as you get your way into this game.
Yeah, both Brown and Wesco, a combination for Coach John Hedlund that he's very confident in. May take a match or two, but he didn't really feel that way in our midweek phone call, did he? He said he wanted to push his chips in to try and get a program-esque win, taking down Oklahoma for the 7th time in team history. There's a through ball, but through everyone off the foot of Wesco, trying to set it up for Brown. Brown late on the run, and Wesco had to get it out in time.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Hedlund. You know, he didn't waste any time with his schedule going against a really stiff competition. They had Colorado State in exhibition games, and then now they're going against OU. And I told Coach Hedlund, I was like, wow, I can't believe you went this quick right off the bat. And he just said, hey, if you want to be the best, you got to play and beat the best. So he said with his young team, there's no better way to learn than just throw them in the fire.
This one headed away by North Texas. Danger still there for the Sooners initially. The right foot set up. A quick run by Brown. Again, Oklahoma so clean and crisp defensively. Rarely a miscue here in the first couple minutes of this opening half.
Yeah, I think both teams have looked really good. Neither team looks rattled. Neither team looks uncomfortable. I don't think either one has played to their full potential just yet, but it's not bad by any means.
And it certainly is a warm night in Denton. And by warm, I mean it is a scorcher. About right around triple digits on kickoff. Feels about 105, the heat index. Because of that, we will have some hydration breaks in the next few minutes for both teams. One in the first half, one in the second half. We'll have about 4 minutes for both teams to have a conversation and maybe catch their breath. Temperature equal or greater than 86. Safe to say it is a greater than 86 night in Denton. And there's that hydration break. It'll be a little bit bigger because of the heat today.
It is completely necessary. Like we said, it feels like 105. Both teams, they're used to this type of weather. It's just as hot in Norman. But Coach Hedlund, he had talked about, he felt like they got spoiled when they went to Colorado and it was nice and cool. He said the hardest part about being back, he thinks the coaches, they have a harder time dealing with the weather than the players do.
Duffy wants to send it into the box. A little collision there. So North Texas will take advantage, and they'll take possession as well. I'm sure the elevation played a different role in those warm-up matches for North Texas. Those exhibitions with Colorado and Colorado State don't have the elevation to worry about in Denton, Texas, but you do have the weather, do have the heat.
I know, you can't have it all.
No,
I guess
not
the
at all.
saying is true.
Nil-nil here in the early going. North Texas with 3 fouls and 2 shots going on goal so far. The one save at the hands of Caroline Duffy. So far, 2 fouls, no shots on goal for Oklahoma. Collision there, and down goes Bailey Wesco. Wesco was hoping for a foul. There are actually 2 Mean Green players down, one back at midfield as well. Numbers for Oklahoma doesn't matter, and a great clearance to lead maybe some of the pressure there. Rachel Roba sends that one to the benches as both Wesco on the front line and then one of the North Texas midfielders having a tough time seeing a number on this occasion.
Yeah, they both got hit pretty bad, and the fact that they're both still on the ground, I mean, that is not a good sign. You have 2 key players, major starters for the Mean Green, on the ground right now. This is not what you want to see. This here's the first foul. A good challenge there, but again, really tough. Looks like the knees got banged up against each other. Sooners Meredith King being aggressive after that, maybe too aggressive with that foul that she had there on Wesco. Or actually, it looked like Wesco might have just fallen on her own.
Yeah, there was no foul called in that occasion. No foul on either side, but there you see Wesco working off to the sideline. That is not an injury that would help North Texas at all. I mean, Wesco, we just talked about her prolific scoring ability. And there's the second injury. That's Megan Schwartner, redshirt junior out of Lake Jackson, Texas, shaken up at the midfield.
I have to tell you, sometimes when people go down and there wasn't any contact, those are the type of injuries that worry me the most. We've seen a lot of freak accidents happen with soccer players when they're just on their own, no contact, and they end up having some major season-ending injuries. Wesco, she was able to get up, kind of walk it off, so I'm thinking she's going to be okay. But in Schwartner as well, she was down. Looks like she's on the table. And when she was on the ground, she had her hand up, trying to wave down her training staff, so that's not a good sign either.
And like you said, 2 significant starters, one in the midfield, one as a forward, shaken up for North Texas. Really in a crucial moment of this first half. Oklahoma looked to be putting on some pressure. Prior to the hydration break, there's John Hedlund. 393 career wins, all with North Texas. He's been the head coach of this program since its inception in 1995. 30 years with the Mean Green.
That's a long time, and he's been here long enough to see daughters of players that he coached before in the past then come onto his team. Addie Christian, her mother Abby played for Hedlund back in the 90s. Her mom Amy was a goalkeeper.
And even that's Alexis Cable to his left. She played for John Hedlund back in 2015. Won a couple conference championships with the Mean Green. So like you talked about, the legacy and the tradition goes very deep for this North Texas bunch.
He says they want to set a family atmosphere, and they're quite literally doing that, and that says a lot, that when you have coached girls that are willing to come back to you for you as coaches, or their daughters play for you. That says a lot.
There's a run for Oklahoma. Strike from the right foot. Ogden gets a hand on it and forces it wide. First shot on goal for Oklahoma, if they mark it as such. That one was dangerous even off of the ricochet, as there was a Sooner or two running on the back line.
Yeah, that might have been one of the best looks that OU has had so far in this half. It's a great ball sent across the box. Ogden got a mitt on it, so that was good to deflect it. But the fact that it bounced across the goal like that is dangerous. The Sooners, they did a good job. They had two girls there on the back post, ready to nail it in. Mean Green did a good job defending that.
They do a good job defending the corner as well, headed away by Emma King. King clears some opportunity. It was Green and Pappas on the backside run, that near post run for Oklahoma. Could have been dangerous for the North Texas back line. Throw in here by Clifton.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing you don't want to see, is the ball bouncing across your box in front of the goal there.
Green has that one ricocheted away. Blocked by the Mean Green, but then picked back up by the Sooners. Right on the edge of their attacking third, but not for long. It was Meredith King that got to it quickly, and now cleared out by the Mean Green.
And Meredith King, she's all over the place. She's technically playing right back. She might be being in the midfield, but she's really making a lot of efforts to get up and be a part of the attack. It's dangerous too.
Here goes Alexis Washington. We mentioned her in the open, but her opportunity taken away by Roebuck. Sooners doing a good job in the midfield of still controlling possession despite struggling to get it to the North Texas back line. Most of this half has been played in Oklahoma territory. This one does go out of play before any contact for a goal kick.
And when you get an overall look at the field, that midfield, it is crowded. North Texas, they have about 5 people in the midfield. Looks like the Sooners, they have 5, maybe even 6 there in the midfield. I mean, they're really crowding it in there, and I think it's going to be a battle of whoever can win the midfield is going to win this war.
There's a war right there, maybe a battle as a part of the war. That one won by Lily Cunningham, sophomore defender out of Edmond, Oklahoma. A couple of Edmond natives playing today. This one out of play. It'll stay in the North Texas attacking third. Both Pappas and Cunningham, Pappas for Oklahoma and Cunningham for the Mean Green, played at Deer Creek High School in Edmond. Pappas a senior now compared to Cunningham, who's a sophomore. Maybe overlapped for a year, possibly 2. And again, great job just sifting through the traffic by the Oklahoma defense to kick this one away. Quick substitution as Bernard checks out. Niedermeyer in for Summer Brown. There's Niedermeyer on the right side and has it. Tried to center it for North Texas. Not there yet. Down to 22 minutes remaining here in half number 1 in Denton, Texas. Still no score between these two familiar foes. First meeting since 2022. Sun setting right at the top of the screen. Crowned here at the UNT Soccer and Track and Field Complex, looking directly into the sunlight. But the players have the sun at their back and some shade on that opposite sideline. This one settles at the feet of Niedermeyer. She centers it right to the top of the box. It ricochets off of Rivas. And Reeves can't corral it. Far sideline, still sticking around the North Texas attacking third, and it's last touched out of play by the Mean Green. Time for a hydration break as both teams will have an opportunity to catch their breath on their respective sidelines. No score. The Sooners on the road looking to win their second straight against the Mean Green in the 11th all-time meeting between North Texas and Oklahoma.
Welcome back to this U.S. Open office plan.
Miller just lobbed a message way over Jones's head using some technical jargon.
Let's see if they can use Grammarly to their advantage. Jones is using it to make her point in a friendly way. Technical doc and asking Grammarly to rewrite it. Let's see if it makes a difference. It's love all, but does Jones feel it?
Yes, they're aligned. Game, set, and match.
Thanks to Grammarly, every word you write helps you reach your goal.
Download Grammarly for free.
Of course, one of their new SEC opponents, the Alabama Crimson Tide, they'll make their way to the North Texas Soccer Complex on Saturday. Right now, they're playing a former conference foe of the TCU Horned Frogs, former conference foe in the Big 12 for the Oklahoma Sooners. This Alabama bunch has a lot of excitement around them as well. And of course, that's not a long trip by any stretch of the imagination. We're about 30 miles north of where Alabama and TCU are currently playing on ESPN+. Glad you're with us on the American Athletic Conference side. Mean Green's second year in the league. Last year finished 2-4-3 in the American. Not the year that John Hedlund had as a debut campaign by any stretch of his imagination. They won a league record 8 women's soccer championships as a part of the Conference USA. And a league record 8 conference championships in the Sun Belt as well. So if they can add 8 more in the American, you feel like they're doing something right. Look to try and pick that up again. Of course, starting with this season opener. Trying to put some pressure out of the hydration break. This might be an opportunity for North Texas to catch Oklahoma in a quick mistake. They haven't made a ton of mistakes so far. It's pretty impressive how clean the play has been on the back line for the Sooners. You talk about eight fouls each, 16 fouls total. Laura mentioned it a moment ago. Here's a set piece, though, on the free kick from Rachel Roebuck to North Texas. She'll look to send it in the box and challenge Caroline Duffy. This one works to the left, and it hooks out of reach for the Mean Green. Long run to keep that one in play. Good effort on the far side by Alexis Miller. Eighteen and a half minutes remaining as Duffy directs traffic. Duffy earned her first collegiate win and a clean sheet by blanking UNC Greensboro in September of last year. That was one of her few appearances for the Duke Blue Devils, but still has yet to concede a goal at the collegiate level. Comes with lots of expectations out of the transfer portal to Matt Mott's bunch. Texas trying to piece together a run. They switch sides to Barnes and now works all the way back into the center for Roebuck. Roebuck, long feed ahead. This one all the way into the box, and it is cleared away right at the last moment by King. We were just talking about King's speed, and she was able to beat Alexis Miller to the spot and get that ball out of trouble.
It looked like there was a little bit of a miscommunication, though, because King, she was looking at Duffy, like, hey, are you going to come out of the box? You're going to get this. And Alexis Miller, she wasn't going to try to get it. Misstep there. If you only have a second at this level, it could cost you. And we almost saw it happen right there.
This one's out of play for a goal kick. You've got Caroline Duffy. We talked about her, but Maddie Ogden has rarely been challenged so far. She has not had a save. She's only touched the ball a couple of times. No shots on goal just yet from Oklahoma, and that's a credit to John Hedlund's back line. Two experienced goalkeepers, both graduates. Ogden started her collegiate career at Colorado State. I just mentioned Duffy and the Duke Blue Devils. Both have settled in and found a home with their respective programs. Now, this one's taken. Wide open chance, and that one will find the back of the net for the Oklahoma Sooners. Morgan Eichelbarner strikes first, and the Plano, Texas native has a goal near her hometown. Looked like it was Roebuck at that center back position. She had no idea that Eichelbarner was running with that sort of speed in her direction. Had 11 games last year with the Sooners, and Eichelbarner, who played her prep soccer at Plano West High School, about 15 miles from where we are here in Denton. She had just 2 goals last year in those 11 games, all off the bench. So a 1-0 North Texas deficit at home. Just a reminder for those who might just be joining us. The Mean Green have not lost a season opener since 2005. 17 straight. They have had some draws in between now and then, but they've won 12 straight matches to open a season underneath John Hedlund, as this one's well over the crossbar by Abby Major.
And that's an amazing stat. And I know as a player that has to be in the back of their minds just a little bit. You can't let it consume you, but you also don't want to be the team that gives up that streak. So there's quite a lot of pressure with this season opener here against the Sooners.
There you see the 2 shots from both teams. Each team has a shot on goal. None better than Morgan Eichelbarner, who breaks the scoreless draw in the 28th minute. Still a long way to go in this one, and we've seen both teams with some opportunity, and we talked about a counter. Maybe that wasn't a counter, but it was a mistake. So mistakes and counters might be the only shot for either one of these attacks, either one of these forwards, to really have some success on an evening like tonight. Here's a chance here. It will not weave its way through. And it's picked off quickly by the Sooners.
Both teams are really doing a great job applying pressure, and as we mentioned, there might not be a lot of opportunities to score, so when you get that chance, you have to take full advantage of it.
Alexis Washington, this one last touched by the Sooners. It's a fun battle so far. Washington matched up on the far end with Flannery. Excuse me. That's Peyton Renfro. Renfro, the junior out of Waxahachie High School.
And good for her. Renfro, she had a season-ending ACL tear last season. It was gut-wrenching. One of those freak accidents, again, that really affected the Mean Green, because Renfro, she was a staple on the back line for North Texas last season. So it's great to see she's back on the field and clearly looks healthy, being able to track that ball down.
Oklahoma again. Sends it right side for Washington. Just outside the box, she'll center it. Again, picked up by Oklahoma. Another solid run for Eichelbarner. Outside for Pappas. She tried to find Washington again, and this one overshoots her teammate.
Again, we're seeing a little lack of urgency from the back line of North Texas. that almost cost them again, just not getting the clearance there on the backside, allowing that ball to bounce, and then the Sooners able to recollect the ball, send it back into the box. You can't let that happen. You have to clear the ball, get to the ball first as soon as possible. You can't take your time against the Sooners. They have to know they're going to be applying that pressure to their back line.
North Texas has struggled to get it out of that midfield marker. This one back to Clifton. Clifton gives way for a clearance. Credit the three back line standouts for Oklahoma, and Nat King in the mix too. Meredith King listed as a forward. She's been playing a lot really in the midfield as really a defensive midfielder so far in this one.
She's dangerous because she is playing in the back line, but with her speed, her conditioning, she's been able to get forward, be dangerous, sending balls in, and she's not only running forward, but she's able to chase people back.
Clifton, Wolf, England listed as the three back for Matt Mott. Rayo checks in for Washington, who's seen a couple runs recently. He's earned a breather for the remainder of the first half, about 11 and a half remaining. Matt Mott in his second season with the Oklahoma Sooners. Not nearly the tenure that John Hedlund has here in North Texas, but he has had 15 years of collegiate coaching experience, including a significant number in the SEC with Ole Miss before taking the Oklahoma job prior to the start of last season.
That's going to be a huge advantage for the Sooners going into the SEC, is Matt Mott having that SEC experience. He had 13 with Ole Miss and then another 7 with Auburn. So he has 20 years of SEC experience of knowing what it is to play at that high caliber of a level.
And really a beautiful facility and complex to play in. John Crane Field is about as good as they come across the country up in Norman. I've had the pleasure of calling a couple matches there over the years, and Oklahoma has the facilities advantage over nearly every team they'll play at the Division I NCAA level. Run here, centered into the box. Texas out of trouble for now, looking to counter. Calling for it initially was Barnes, but she couldn't make a run. Now it's time for a throw-in. There's a bit of contact that time between Wolf and Niedermeyer. Transfer from Michigan State. Thought she'd be playing a lot of left back tonight, but really has been that center back for the Sooners.
She's one of those key players for the Sooners on the SEC preseason watch list. She started all 19 games last year for Michigan. I anticipate a lot more starts in Norman.
Wolf, 19 games, all starts like you talked about. Logged over 1,600 minutes in terms of playing on that Oklahoma back line. She's off to a great start in this one as well. Part of that back line, we talked about their success. They set a program record for fewest shots allowed per match, just over 10. Of course, right now they're sitting at 2. So a pretty good start to the 2024 campaign in that regard. If you're North Texas, Laura, and you're looking at what you've done over these first 40 minutes nearly, do you change much going into the second half, or do you rely on the fact that a counterattack and an opportunity will come at some point?
Well, one thing I'm hoping Wesco will be back for the second half. I think they're missing her there up top. They're missing that veteran leadership and experience up top. And then same with Schwertner. I'm hoping that she comes back in the midfield because they were playing, I think, better when those two were in. It's not like North Texas has completely dropped the ball, but the back line has started to get a little shaky for North Texas. So in that second half, I want them to have more urgency in the back line to make decisions, either clear the ball or pass it to a teamate.
If find a teammate here. That looked to be onside for Niedermeyer. No flag up, but she could not get there. And a goal kick for Oklahoma. Right idea for the Mean Green as Beasley sent it just in front of Niedermeyer.
And Niedermeyer, that's a player and a freshman that Coach Hedlund specifically called out and said he's been really impressed with her, saying that she's been killing it for them up top. She's confident, she's got speed. So yeah, she might be a freshman, but she's certainly not playing like one.
Sooners send this one ahead. Coming off the right foot of Michelle Pack. There's Pack again. Matt Mott really impressed with her last year. 16 games, 15 starts for the Sooners. Also a DFW product back in the Metroplex. Product of Coppell High School. Heard there's some pretty good soccer being played with the Coppell Cowboys down the way.
Oh yeah, there's some amazing talent that comes out of Coppell. I might be slightly biased because I am a Coppellian.
Is that what it's called, a Coppellian?
That's what I call it.
That's what
yes,
you call it? Okay.
the Coppellians.
I
So
believe you.
I'm cheering on for Pack, biasly as a fellow cowgirl.
Coppell about 20 minutes from here. Again, we are in Denton, Texas, where the sun has settled in behind a layer of clouds just beyond the horizon. Still in the air for now. But it looks like we may be out of direct sunlight for the remainder of the night. It was 101 at kickoff. Felt like 105.
Hey, now it only feels like 104.
Well, we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, it's cooling down now that the sun's going behind the clouds.
Alongside Laura Sadler, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Season opener for North Texas. They've got two fun ones, SEC opponents coming to town on the opening weekend. This one tonight with the Oklahoma Sooners, and then on Saturday, they welcome in the Alabama Crimson Tide. Laura and Owen Simpson will have the call on Saturday. Should be an exciting one here from the UNT Soccer Complex. There's a great look of that wall of clouds and the soccer being played beneath it. Trying to switch fields and open things up for Keller Matisse on the left side. Off a good feed from the midfield. North Texas takes over. Looking to challenge here in the final 5 minutes of the first half.
I like what we're seeing from North Texas right now. They're not rushing. They're connecting a couple passes, taking their time, and that's going to be the difference of the team this year versus what we saw last year. Last year, they were very direct, and as they should be. They had a lot of speed up top. A lot of that speed is returning, but Coach Hedlund said this group, there's just so much depth and talent to them that they can handle the soccer IQ of possessing the ball more and then picking and choosing when you are just going to hit it that long ball for your speed up top to be able to run onto. So I like when they have that balance. They can play either way. They're less predictable that way too when they change it up with being direct and then indirect.
There's a great look at the crowd as well. Expecting a sellout tonight. Close to it. Always is when Oklahoma comes to town. Good contingency of Sooner faithful in attendance as well. That one nearly turned into some danger for the Sooners. It landed at the feet of Zoe Parkhurst, but Parkhurst could not control possession before it was sent out of play by Micah Beasley. Beasley, a transfer from Baylor, has seen her fair share of battles with the Sooners in the past from their time in the Big 12.
And Beasley, that's another player Coach Hedlund has been really happy and pleased with the impact she's been able to have on the team this early on in the season. Expect a lot from her. And Jacqueline Barnes, the TCU transfer. UNT, they did it right in the transfer portal this year, getting big teams, big names.
Matisse to throw it in. Fresh off of her substitution earlier in the half. Headed out, chance for King. She whiffed on it with the right foot. She made some contact as well with the North Texas defender. Stavia Richards checks in. Great storyline there, giving way for Rosales. In the final 3 minutes of the half. Won't see really a ton. Davia Richards, transfer from Hill College down in Hillsborough. She plays for the Jamaican national team.
Yeah, she just got called up this February. Had an impact, and her first day on campus was Tuesday this week. That was her first day at practice. They had some issues trying to get her over here with all of her paperwork, but she got here, has been gelling so far the last few days with the team. Probably won't see a ton of her. They're just trying to sprinkle her in, get her adapted with the Mean Green play style, making sure she's fit, ready for the season. But she's got an incredible storyline. Coach Headland is very excited about her because of how fast she is. She's got the foot skills as well. And when you're on a national team, I mean, that speaks for itself, that you're talented.
No doubt. Had a goal against Guatemala in the CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifier as part of the Jamaican national team, and that's just the beginning. She had 23 goals in 16 matches last year with Hill College. JUCO first-team All-American. Now wearing the number 10 for the North Texas Mean Green. There's Davia on the opposite side.
Yeah,
they'll try and get her going here in this first 90 seconds. Give her a look.
Oh, absolutely. And you talked about the goals and the assists that she had. She broke the single-season record for points with what she was able to accomplish in 16 matches. Some unbelievable statistics behind her and her tenure at Hill College.
This will not be the last time North Texas gets a good look at Richards, one of the multiple newcomers for John Headland, all of which trying to come together for an equalizer as we enter the final minute of the first half. Sun setting in Denton. 1-0 Oklahoma lead. A 29th minute goal from Morgan Eichelbarner, Plano, Texas native, has the Sooners on top by 1.
A lot of North Texans on both sides of this roster, and hence why the crowd is so big here. I mean, there's a lot of people that are family, friends, even recruits that are out here watching this game.
Right now they have Oklahoma leading it, even though North Texas leads the all-time series 6-3, one draw between the two. Their 10 all-time meetings prior. Here goes Richards. She'll get a chance at a first touch. Time dwindling, final 10 seconds of the first half. We'll see what North Texas has drawn up. Nothing at this point. Maybe a last-second shot here from the Sooners. Winding up is Eichelbarner again. She doesn't get enough of it. And the first half comes to a close. But it was Eichelbarner that has the Sooners on top in their first ever game as a part of the SEC, taking on North Texas on the road, trying to give the Mean Green their first blemish in a season opener. Bama matchup coming up Saturday. They've got some good tests along the way. That Texas A&M Commerce game, not necessarily the same give-me game as it has been over the last couple years. That's a budding program.
Yeah, North Texas with their schedule, they're starting off really strong with OU and then Alabama. But at this level, you can't underestimate any team. I know it's Texas, Southern, Prairie View, A&M. Should UNT win those games? Yes, but you cannot underestimate anybody. They might catch you off guard.
Texas, Southern, Prairie View, A&M have been non-conference foes throughout the last few years against the Mean Green. Just like the Sooners have been. First time that Mott and Headland have faced off since Mott took over last year. Maddie Ogden makes her way back in net. We've got two stellar goalkeepers showing off, with Ogden for the North Texas side, Caroline Duffy for Oklahoma. Oklahoma coming off a year where they were 9th in the Big 12. They were just picked to finish 13th out of the 16 programs in the SEC preseason poll, and I'm sure Matt Mott wants to change that reputation very quickly in a brand new league.
Oh, absolutely. When you don't get that high pick, high selection, that really should give you a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, wanting to go out there and prove people wrong. Sometimes being the underdog, it's got its perks. You play it just a little bit harder to prove people wrong.
And North Texas picked to finish 6th in the American preseason poll. Memphis tabbed as the favorites, followed by South Florida, East Carolina, Charlotte, and FAU, Florida Atlantic. Rounding out the top 5. Back in the ball game as Bailey Wesco gets us started. We are underway in the second half. Wesco back in alongside Summer Brown. A lot of the starters back in the fold for North Texas, except for Megan Schwartner, the redshirt junior from Lake Jackson, will be out due to injury for the remainder of this one. That's a big loss in the midfield. 16 games, 14 starts last year, Laura, for Schwartner in that midfield.
And we don't know why she's out. They might just sit her out and take it easy. She could be back on Saturday. We don't know at this point. But it is early on in the season, so you do want to be cautious. If you're having some bumps and bruises right now, take it easy, because really the big thing you want to be ready for is conference play. That's when you want to be your most healthy.
Joined North Texas as a walk-on as a freshman back in 2021. Earned a scholarship going into last season and certainly earned it from John Hedlund. And an unfortunate break that she will have to sit the remainder of this season opener. You never want to see anybody hurt, especially in game 1 of the year. This one off the right foot, put on goal, but easily moving to her right is Caroline Duffy for her second save.
I think it was Barnes who was at the end of that shot and got it off. Well done by her, applying pressure. It looked like OU had a North Texas moment where on that back line they hesitated to clear the ball out, and Barnes, she came through, took advantage of that, getting a good shot off.
Looked like you talked about, got a good shot off, but she may have been able to run a bit further into the attacking third, as there's a heavy collision from North Texas. So take a look on the right side of your screen. She was getting challenged pretty quickly there. May not have had the same amount of run-up as thought previously.
Yeah, Wesco was a little strong on the ball, knocking down Meredith King. And I know we're far outside the box, but this is dangerous because OU, they're going to send this right in there and challenge them.
Off the foot of Green. Does settle in with North Texas in the mean green. Wait for the clearance. The only goal so far off the leg of Morgan Eichelbarner. Eichelbarner scoring in the 29th minute of this one to put Oklahoma on top 1-0. Ogden in net. Has faced just the one shot on goal. She doesn't have a save on the match so far.
Yeah, this game has been pretty even matchup. Both sides have been able to get 2 shots. The Mean Green actually being able to get 2 shots on goal versus OU's 1, but they capitalized on that 1 shot, and sometimes that's the cruel game of soccer. You just got to finish 1 sometimes to be able to win, whether you got more shots on goal or not.
Kind of good shot of Megan O'Connor there a moment ago, working off the bench, and the transfer from UCF. Did not play all of last year with UCF. Played with Coach Matt Mott at Ole Miss prior to the transfer, and then got injured in the preseason matches last year before transferring to Oklahoma to reunite with her former head coach. She's in place of Leo Weber. Weber was shaken up in the midfield right at the beginning of this match. I mean, we're talking 3rd or 4th minute of the season. She went down with an injury and she has not returned. So both teams missing a key member of the midfield here in the early going. Schwartner for the North Texas side, and then Weber for Oklahoma.
This game and this matchup, it's notorious for being chippy and physical, but as you mentioned, this early on in the season, those are not the injuries that you want to see, especially with key players. Weber for the Sooners, she was named to the SEC preseason watch list. She had 5 goals last year. She was second leading on the team, led in assists last year for them. So she's a big-time player that they're going to ask a lot of her this year, so hopefully she's healthy and can get back to the pitch.
This one intercepted on a lazy cross, put at the foot of Brown. Brown lost possession as well. She was swarmed by the Oklahoma defense. This one sent to the back line, now picked up by Lily Cunningham.
That all started, though, with Roebuck being decisive and aggressive, stepping in front, winning that 50-50 battle, and getting the ball back into the feet of her teammates. Again, I'm liking the possession that we're seeing from North Texas right now. Being picky and choosy when they're going to go forward. Great physical play here.
And Wesco marked quickly by King. Wesco has some space. She'll send it to Brown, opposite side. Temporarily snuffed out by Clifton. Brown. Now this one's centered off the header, saved by Caroline Duffy. Opportunity off the header from right to left from Devin Flannery. And the second shot on goal of the second half, again, into the midst of Duffy.
I love the build-up we saw from North Texas on that. They possessed it, they changed the point of attack, and when you do that, you spread out that back line, opening lanes for your forwards to come in and get at the end of those crosses. And that's what we saw there. Really good look there for North Texas.
Mean Green, who had only one shot on goal in the entire first half, with two in the early going here. Again, Wesco battling for possession, gets underneath, and a foul called on the senior out of Midlothian. Former Oklahoma Sooner, by the way, Bailey Wesco.
You know, she's playing against some former teammates, some familiar foes. It's always a little awkward when you're going against some of your former teammates. But at this point, I can assure you, they're no longer friends. They're going at each other. She's willing to be physical, as we just saw there.
Transferred to North Texas prior to the start of last year, had 6 goals in 13 starts for the Mean Green. It's actually a high target out of high school for John Hedlund. Before she entered the transfer portal, she really was in between North Texas and LSU and decided Hedlund's bunch here in Denton was the best fit. And then outside of really some late season injuries in 2023, had a phenomenal campaign, and it could have been even better in her first year with North Texas, and now trying to build on it after staying healthy to start the year.
And if she can stay healthy, I think she's gonna beat what she did last year with her 6 goals. Very easily could have had more than that had she been able to stay on the pitch, get more minutes in. She was dangerous for North Texas then, and now going into her second year here in Denton, she's more comfortable, more of a leader, growing in that role. So a lot of expectations of what she can do here.
Cleared away by Abby Major, one of the 3 captains for this North Texas bunch, alongside Rachel Roebuck and Devin Flannery. Major has done a nice job on that back line, but it was an early mistake from North Texas, that 29th minute, that has them down 1-0. Other than that, they've played good soccer, good defense on the back line, and just have to put it together for another 36 minutes and hope they get an equalizer or even a go-ahead strike.
Yeah, I would say the majority of the time, the back line for the Mean Green has looked good. There's just been a couple moments it hasn't been on point, and that's the thing, at this level, it doesn't take that much of a mistake for it to be used against you, as we saw the Sooners do. They jumped on that mistake from North Texas and were able to get the lead.
O'Connor's shot goes beyond the far post. Goal kick for Ogden. Now under the lights as the sun is officially set. Temperature cooling off significantly over the last 15 to 20 minutes. There's another foul called. Both teams very physical in the early going. That's the 10th for Oklahoma. O'Connor pointing at the spot. Emma King was the player fouled, freshman out of Houston. Here's the strong leg of Ogden. She can put it close to the box here, and North Texas will look to take advantage.
Yeah, her leg is well known, because you could see even the Sooners, they started backing up knowing there's a good chance the ball's going into the box.
Now near side. Barnes now gives it to Flannery. Flannery has it taken away. There goes Morrell.
And those are the decisions I'm talking about. You have to be quicker with. Flannery doing a good job keeping the ball, and she's looking to keep possession. But if you hold on to the ball for too long, that Sooner pressure is going to start taking over, which is what we saw there. I would have ideally liked to see her get that ball off of her foot and find a teammate sooner.
Cunningham's throw in short, aiming for Wesco. Lead advantage played in favor of North Texas. Out of play off the leg of Washington. Throw in here from Barnes. Strong clearance from Morrell. Morrell, another native of the Metroplex. Prosper High School product. Strong from Ogden. It's one of the benefits. If it gets to Maddie Ogden, she will very easily clear it from her own defensive third.
Oh yeah, she can hit it from box to box. And that's why you can see when the ball's on Ogden's foot, the North Texas strikers, they start running because they know there's a good chance they can get at the end of that.
How crucial is that for a ball club? I mean, is that a weapon that North Texas could utilize throughout the season, or do teams scout that whenever they take a look at an opponent?
Oh, absolutely. And Ogden, even last year, was dangerous. She had a goal herself as a goalkeeper off of a free kick against UTSA last year. And so, yeah, obviously it's dangerous. It proved to be dangerous last year. She had a goal and an assist because of how strong her leg is.
Washington has this one taken out from underneath her by Cunningham. It does set up the second corner kick of the evening for Oklahoma.
I like the pressure that Cunningham had there to close down on that. Ideally would have liked her not to give up the corner kick, but she did win the 50-50.
This one put right over the top of the crossbar. Not a bad look there from Sophia Green. Green has been taking the set pieces for the most part. Her and O'Connor, two strong legs as forwards for Oklahoma.
You know, Green, though, she has to be frustrated. In a game like this, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities. Corner kicks, that's a huge chance to try to get a goal, a deflection. So when you give it away just like that, making it easy for North Texas, you kind of kick yourself frustrated. And one thing you have to keep into account is the wind. The wind is going towards the UNT goal, so I think she needed to get her hips more around the ball, be mindful of that wind trying to push the ball out towards the goal line. You got to pull it out, try to hit it in that 6-yard box.
Down the 58th minute. They're going to send Caroline Duffy all the way into the Oklahoma half of the pitch. Duffy all the way forward now. She's going to try and set something up off of the free kick from the far side.
I think she heard us bragging about Ogden's leg. She said, hold on. Watch my stuff, see what I can do.
Now this could be a weapon if Oklahoma can
Wow.
convert. Great ball right in the middle. It pinballs off of a couple defenders. Last touchdown out of bounds by Oklahoma on the shot attempt. And, well, experiment plays at least an early role for Oklahoma. Love the look from Matt Mott to even get his goalkeeper involved.
Absolutely. When you got a boot like that, I think that's a game plan that you should stick with. I mean, that was a dangerous ball put into the box. It was well played. It was high. It was floating, allowing the Sooners to be able to get good judgment on it to get to the end of it. And they did get some touches there. It did bounce out eventually, but really a good look there by Duffy to send it in.
Here's a good look near side. Washington. She's dangerous with the ball at her feet. Trying to find a centering pass. By Cunningham. Pressure placed there by the freshman, and the ball won ahead to Barnes.
I love the double team that we saw from the Mean Green. That's what's going to take sometimes to break down these Sooners. They're fast, they're quick, they're skilled, they're great at that 1v1.
Long shot attempt from O'Connor on the money, but Ogden is there and had plenty of time to track it down.
Ogden, she was well off of her line on that one. O'Connor proving she's got a boot as well. Not afraid to take that long shot. I think she saw how far out Ogden was, so she tried to test her, see if she could get it over her into the net. Ogden doing a good job with her athleticism to track back, get a hand on it. But not a bad look there by Oklahoma.
There's O'Connor running in for the takeaway. Pappas gives it up. There's a little jawing back and forth between the Sooner sideline and the North Texas midfield, because there was a little contact as Connor came forward to challenge the loose ball. There was a collision between her and North Texas's Flannery. And then I think the Sooner bench had a couple words, so our head referee and Soren Stoika goes over to have a quick chat, but nothing more than that.
It's getting chippy both on and off the field. Here's a look at that replay of what may have led to the talk happening from the sideline.
Yeah, this is leading to a free kick here for North Texas. Strong challenge that time from Johnson. Talked about how dangerous some of those set pieces could be for Oklahoma. Here's one for North Texas. Strong boot into the box. Is it too far? No, it's not. Duffy got a hand on it, and it's out for a corner.
That was a great challenge from North Texas on Duffy. I don't know if Duffy was expecting it to really go that far.
I don't think so either. She charged forward, thinking that somebody on the front line would have a chance at it for North Texas, and just barely got a fingertip on it to push it out of play. Now off the corner, quickly moving are the Mean Green. And this one is indeed over the attack and out of play. Set pieces becoming more and more prevalent here in the second half as we have some Sooner substitutions. McNulty checks in for O'Connor. Well-earned rest for Morgan. "63 minutes into this one, nearing the halfway point of the second. Another long strike, this one off of the foot from Brown. But again, Duffy is easily there to handle.
I like that North Texas, they're being more aggressive, just getting those shots off. Even if they're not the most high quality, they're not the most challenging. Right there for Duffy, it was a pretty easy save, but those types of shots, that starts to build confidence for North Texas. It starts to get their chemistry going. The more shots they can get, the more aggressive they're going to continue to become, and hopefully get better, more dangerous chances when they get those shots. Keep it on frame, but out of range of Duffy.
And the first half, just one save for Duffy on the shot on goal. One shot on goal for Oklahoma in return against Ogden. As Pack has it, sends it to the top of the box. Left-footed strike from the near substitution, McNulty. We talked about her speed in the pregame and talking to the Oklahoma staff, and she showed some of that there. Had a good look with the left foot.
It was good pressure there by Abby Major, but McNulty doing a good job letting that ball go across her body to get it on her left foot. Really a good shot, just a little high. If she can keep her body over the ball, that's going to help that ball stay lower and give it a good drive on frame. But really not a bad look. There's some good skill shown there by McNulty.
And 11 starts at Boston University last year. 4 goals, a couple assists. Makes the transfer after being named All-Patriot League first team. You can see her impact off the bench. There's a lot of excitement for Oklahoma and the newcomers on this roster. They returned 14 letter winners, including 7 starting fielders, but then you've got 7 freshmen, 8 transfers, including all-region honorees like Sophia Green from Omaha, McNulty from Boston, Morgan O'Connor that we talked about from Ole Miss and UCF. They have some talent incoming. There's a foul incoming for Oklahoma. But you've seen that here in the first half and now going into the second too.
Yeah, a lot of fouls going on right now. That was the 12th foul for the Sooners. Mean Green, they got their fair share as well with 7. Again, the last time these two played off in a formal game, 2022, 20 fouls in that game. They're well on pace to hit that one again.
Pack, left side, once again an open shot for McNulty, but it misses to the near post. It was all set up on the run from Michelle Pack. She placed it at the foot of McNulty, who again with a left-footed strike had a chance at goal, but just sends it wide.
McNulty wasting no time getting herself acclimated into this game and quickly becoming a threat. She was able to get the ball again to her left foot, but Ogden, great job coming off of her line, applying that pressure. I think it might have frazzled McNulty a little bit as she wasn't as composed to be able to get a clean shot off. So well done by Ogden to come off her line, apply that pressure, and ultimately get a save there.
Barnes into the middle now. Back to Cunningham, who's had a great debut for North Texas, but she gives it up here. 3 on 4 the other way. North Texas with 4 defenders back. They get some reinforcements. This one sent far side again from McNulty. She was trying to find Clifton running off the back line, but instead puts it at the feet of the Mean Green bench. Time for the second hydration break. With just over 23 minutes remaining. We're 67 minutes into this one, and it's Oklahoma on top, 1-0. The back line shining for the Sooners. Can the Mean Green...
And that deadline is looming.
It looms for us all, Jill.
Wait a minute. She just pulled up Grammarly.
Grammarly is an AI writing partner that helps you make your point.
She just asked Grammarly to help her write a summary of her doc, and she's shortening it. Look at that. She's done. And it's in!
It's a touchdown!
Download Grammarly for free.
You combed through every last piece of evidence. You made the final, impossible connection. And all the while, you were soaking in the bath. Audible. There's more to imagine when you...
UFC 305 is Saturday in Perth, Australia, highlighted by the World Middleweight Championship. The main card begins at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. To order the main card in English and in Spanish, go to espnplus.com/ppv. Evening, alongside Laura Sadler, I'm Kyle Yeomans. I wonder if Australia is dealing with the same. I mean, they're in the southern hemisphere, so that means they're in the middle of winter time, but they've seen their fair share of warm evenings just like this one.
Yeah, I can't imagine they have much of a winter at all, really.
95 degrees currently, and it feels like a cool 101.
I know the sun is down, and it still feels like 101 degrees out there, so a good decision to have these water breaks halfway through each half. They certainly need it.
Remember, it was a strike from Oklahoma right after the initial hydration break in the first half. That's the third shot by McNulty since she entered the ball game about 5 minutes ago. She's been very active since entering the match.
She's had a great impact for the Sooners, and you cannot underestimate the bench and what they can give you. They really are just as important as your starters because they bring that spark and help keep the game level high, which is exactly what McNulty's been able to do.
Especially through a long season and in grueling heat like this. That depth will come very much so to the surface. Here's McNulty again, trying to set something up forward to her teammates, and this one does not last very long. Barnes will chase it down, but she can't keep it in play off of the bounce.
I think a good idea there by North Texas to try to switch the point of attack. I think Roebuck could have played it to Cunningham, who then got it out there to Barnes, rather than making it a difficult long ball for her to try to get down to her feet. Try to, work smarter, not necessarily harder.
Here's a chance with numbers for North Texas. Beasley on the left side has it escorted out of play. Easily handled by Kaylee England. England's been fantastic. Anytime there's been any challenge on that side of the field from North Texas, it does not last very long.
Oh yeah, England, she's not only a staple for this team, but she's a staple to the program. She started all 20 games last year. She ranks 12th in OU program history with the most starts at 72 career starts. She is on the SEC preseason watch list as well. So yeah, she is a staple and going to be a huge factor in the success of this program this year.
Here she is trying to escort it to the end line, gets tangled up, but the foul called against North Texas. And in the process, it looks like Micah Beasley is shaken up. Transfer from Baylor down after getting tangled up with England. England with the size advantage. Tried to box out into the box and into the end-line, and then looks like England just got rolled up right on top of Beasley's right leg.
Yeah, looks like Beasley's leg got caught underneath England there. Kind of had it bent it weird. Not what you want to see, especially with knee injuries being so prevalent in soccer.
And visibly in some pain as the training staff makes their way out to have a chat. Seen it earlier, both teams losing a key midfielder in the first half. Megan Schwartner went down for North Texas. She is out for the remainder of the game. Same can be said for Leo Weber in the midfield for Oklahoma. And if Beasley is unable to return, she would be the third player taken out of this ball game, and hopefully it's nothing major as she's evaluated by the training staff.
Yeah, that's rough. I know for both coaches, they want their players playing physical, playing strong, but you don't want to come out of this game with injuries. It's just a preseason game. You have a lot more season left to go with this just being the first game of the season. So to see this many people go down, it's alarming. I'm wondering if there might be some conversations between the two coaches. Might need to cool it down just a little bit.
I don't know if that's going to go very far between these competitive
It might not. It might last
programs.
A full minute or so.
Yeah. If it's a conversation, it'll be a quick one. Stavia Richards checks in for the injured Beasley. Richards arriving earlier in the week, like Laura talked about earlier. Newcomer from Hill College, a junior college All-American last season down in Hillsboro. Now making her North Texas debut, and she may see some extra minutes here if Beasley is unable to return.
And I'm hoping we will see Richards stay in. I'd like to see more of what she's made of. I know Coach Hedlund was very excited to have her on the program. Florida State, they were also fighting to get Richards on their team. So there were some big programs that had their eye on her. She's fast, but she's had a whopping 3 practices with North Texas before today's game.
And while we were talking about the injury on one side, Oklahoma has another chance for an attack, and it's Washington that sends it over the crossbar. looking to sneak it in that near or that far post, but it's out of play for a goal kick from Maddie Ogden. And in the middle of that attack was Weber, who we mentioned earlier left the game with injury. She is back, which is a phenomenal sign for Oklahoma, wearing the number 31 in the crimson. So having Weber back in the fold is fantastic. We have the official word that Schwartner is out for the remainder of the match. Here's Richards clearing some space, sending it forward. Now it's a challenge for the ball as we get closer to the box. Not this time for the Mean Green.
I like that look, though, from Richards. She had the pullback, showing off some skill before she sent that long ball in. A good first look of Richards.
Just another opportunity for North Texas to try and strike. This one misjudged on the first touch by the freshman Niedermeyer. Back to Richards. She's joined by a teammate. Now it's her and Niedermeyer. Richards trying to lose Pack. She does. Sends it to the top of the box. Richards works around. Now switches to the left foot. Trying to dump it off to a teammate. Oklahoma defensively closing in. Chance from the top of the line, and it's sent to the left. And North Texas was building an attack there, but it cannot connect off of Ridley Reeves.
Richards already making an impact in this game. Again, showing off her skill, had several pullbacks. I mean, Sooners Pack, she was all over her on her back, but Richards had the skill to get around her, had a give and go. This is a great start of what is to come and what Richards can bring to this North Texas team.
This one bounds around. North Texas does have some Mean Green forwards ready for the attack before Meredith King cuts it off and ends it very quickly. Here goes Washington. Washington with a left-footed through ball. Right side for the goal scorer, Eichelbarner. And she is marked, and this one will go back to the Mean Green.
That was a great run there, though, by Eichelbarner, catching Cunningham off guard, running behind her to get behind the back line. Just
very impressed with Lily Cunningham in her debut as well.
Absolutely. I mean, she's been tested. They've been going at her, but Cunningham proving how fast she is. She's been able to keep up with these Sooners. Coach Hedlund said she's probably one of the fastest on the team.
Just a sophomore as well, still very young on the back line. Mean Green being tested. This one's out of play off of a North Texas defender. Corner kick to come here for OU.
Great job by North Texas to track that down and deflect it for the corner. They were all tracking back, trying to get into the box, so there's no telling what could have happened if that cross had made it into the North Texas box.
Third corner of the evening. Weber sets it right in front of the goalie box. Sent right back in by Oklahoma before North Texas clears the danger for now. Ogden, that one's gonna ricochet off the crossbar. Nearly disaster for North Texas, narrowly avoided.
That is not what you typically see out of Ogden. Looking a little rattled there. And that's the dangerous part of when you let that ball bounce. It could be going who knows where. So you don't want to let that happen. Ideally, you want to get to that ball before it bounces so that you don't have to worry about it ricocheting or trying to guess where it's going to go from that point. Really not a typical play there that we see from Ogden. She's usually much cleaner.
Some space for North Texas. Oklahoma gets back with numbers and with some strength. And it ends up with King on the tackle. Foul called late. Contact made. King slow to get up.
I mean, North
Tangled
Texas,
up with Miller.
Yeah, they've been pretty hard on King. She's definitely got some bumps and bruises that she's been getting from the Mean Green in this one. But Alexis Miller, I like her tenacity, and that's what we saw from her last year. She's one of the players I really enjoyed watching because she's a forward, but she's not one of those forwards that's not willing to track back and play some defense. Alexis Miller, she'll get back like we saw right there. She's small, but she's physical and she's strong.
Second time here in the half that we've seen Caroline Duffy vacate the box for a free kick. Sends a booming strike into the box. Foul called. Will go against Eichelbarner in Oklahoma.
Another good look there by Duffy. And if I were Coach Motto, I would keep bringing her up because she really has the boot and the accuracy to send some dangerous balls into the box for her Sooners to run onto.
Pack wins the challenge. Eichelbarner with a long, lofty strike, where Ogden is safely there to corral it. Well, Texas doesn't want to waste time, under 15 minutes to play.
I like that decision. If you're going to catch the Sooners off guard, you got to play quick.
Now this one's ahead, right side to the winger in Richards. Richards has it settled in. She's marked quickly by King. This one out of play off of the Oklahoma defender.
Well done by the Sooners to track back because Richards, the Jamaican national team player, that's not a player you want to let run behind your defense with the ball at her feet.
Richards waiting for some help here on the throw-in. It was actually Morrell who got over quickly playing that left back spot. Brown checks in for John Headland's bunch. They also send Wesco back to the top. There's a look at the former Oklahoma Sooner, Bailey Wesco. Throw in to be handled by Reeves. Nothing going this time. North Texas running out of time here to try and find an equalizer, Laura. How quickly do they need to strike if they not only want to equalize, but also want to have a solidified chance to take the lead late?
Well, one of the things that you can't do is you can't let the clock all of a sudden get you frazzled and then completely change the style of play, what you're going to play. I can understand you might be a little bit more direct, but you still want to be smart.
Have to be clean, crisp with the passing, more efficient than ever, and it's not going to happen this time. Taken over by Parkhurst. Right side for King. She'll center it. Instead, sends it over the goal and out of play. Maybe mishit that one or was trying at goal from some distance away. She's had the type of night that she's earned that opportunity.
Absolutely. It really wasn't a bad look. She had the right idea, just too much oomph behind that ball as it sailed out, but a good look there. She had the right idea, just a little bit too hard of a hit. Ideally, you want to get your head up, find your teammates running into the box, and try to find them at the end of that.
Quick throw in, and not enough time, says our lead official, Soren Stoika. He said, hold on just 1 second, Leo Weber. So it went out of play, and Oklahoma had already checked in for a substitution, and Sophia Green will now insert Weber out of the match. Maybe she was trying to avoid the substitution. Or excuse me, that's Eichelbarner that's out. Goal scorer from the 29th minute. We'll take a breather. That's the difference in this one so far. A long run up and a toss here from Clifton. Cleared forward. Summer Brown.
And what I like about that clearance, she found a teammate at the end of that. Unfortunately, lost the ball there, but North Texas has got to be able to find each other, keep possession of the ball. Because right now, the Sooners, they're doing a great job in their counterattack. The more you can hold on the ball, keep that ball away from your opponent, the better.
Been very impressed with Meredith King. She's been a technician on the defensive side. Really, any challenge she's attempted, she's won throughout the night, including against Summer Brown, who was our highlighted player to start the match.
Oh, King, she's been doing a phenomenal job on both ends. Yes, she's a right back, but she's been involved in the offense with her speed, her ability to find teammates. That's going to be the key for the Sooners. They want to find her and get her involved in the attack because good things happen when the ball's at her feet.
Corner to come here for Oklahoma. This will be their 4th of the night, now overtaking North Texas in that category, who had an early lead. Really, North Texas had their biggest chances come early in the second half, and since then have been silenced by Oklahoma on the back line, and the trio of England, Clifton, and Wolf have been impenetrable. Trying to penetrate here. That one headed out by Wesco and then blocked in front of goal before Ogden even had a chance at a mitt. Another cross, this one over the crossbar. And Oklahoma's opportunity goes to the wayside.
Really 2-3 good looks there by the Sooners. A great cross that North Texas was able to get to the end of that. But unfortunately with the header, it wasn't high and over, so Sooners, they follow up with a shot. Eventually, Merle sends a cross in.
Now here's Pack with some space, top of the box. Sends it to the right. Here's Parkhurst. Parkhurst will wind up, and her shot goes wide. Time dwindling for North Texas in front of a record-setting student section. 600 plus in attendance for this one. Students alone, by the way. Over 1,700 in attendance here at the UNT Soccer and Track and Field Complex.
It's really been a fun, spirited crowd. They've been cheering this entire game. You really can't ask for anything better in a season opener. It is a lot of fun to be able to play in front of teammates, friends, family. It gives you just that much more to play for.
Trying to find some of that spirit late. They've won 12 straight season openers. John Hedlund knew it would be a challenge. That one goes off a North Texas defender, shaken up. And definitely doing her job was Rosales. That one will ring the bell a little bit. Hopefully she's okay.
She's a freshman, and I would say she got a nice rude awakening there, what the college level is going to bring. But just because she's a freshman, Coach Hedlund has a lot of high expectations for her. Said that she could easily start, but more than likely is going to come off the bench, see some significant minutes in her inaugural season here in Denton.
And she's seen 24 minutes so far, and you can see that one. Washington knew it too. Washington doesn't feel good about that one either. She was just trying to center it for a teammate.
Yeah, when I initially saw that, I thought Rosales had maybe head the ball, but no, that was just straight to the face. But she's able to get up, the crowd's cheering for her.
It looks like Soren Stoika, you never want to take any chances with concussions and concussion protocol. And so checking out quickly is Rosales, and she'll be further evaluated from the North Texas bench. There's the duo that may have to get it done for John Hedlund. Wesco and Brown have done it so many times over the last few years. They may have to try and turn it up a notch here in the final 9-16 if they want to find an equalizer.
I was going to say they've been known to do it before, and if there was anybody that can do it, my money would be on them. The key, though, is being able to get it to their feet so they can either turn on their defenders, use their speed, or just send it up, play direct, let it be a track race. And again, my money's on Bailey or Wesco to win that foot race.
Washington on the back line. Sends it to King. King crosses. Doesn't find a home, and it's cleared out by North Texas. King already back. She's all over the pitch. And the challenge that time results in a foul, but even her getting in the mix there made it tough on North Texas to push in transition.
Here's that continued physical play that you would expect. King and freshman Niedermeyer. The freshman stepping up, not afraid to get physical and doing well, able to draw the foul for Ogden to now send it deep in.
That's what she'll look to do. Aiming for Wesco. Richards remains in the game for Headland as well. And there's a late whistle and a free kick awarded just outside the box. A golden opportunity for North Texas.
This really is a great opportunity for them. Richards doing a great job to win that second ball, get it back on the ground, and then be aggressive as she's able to draw the foul here. Well done to get there. The Sooners a little too aggressive on that play. Unfortunately, it's Clifton who draws the foul. Ends up getting Richards' foot instead of the ball. And really a dangerous look here for the Mean Green.
It'll be Rachel Roebuck. Shoots a goal and it sends it right to Duffy. Roebuck sent it over the wall of 5 Oklahoma Sooners. They did go with Roebuck, who converted on a penalty kick in the preseason against Colorado. Not a bad look here.
Not at all. She was able to curve it up and around that wall. Just unfortunately too direct for Duffy. You're going to have to challenge her a little bit more than that and able to get it past her and into the net.
Best look by far for North Texas on a set piece tonight. We've got another whistle. Players on both sides curious about the conversation here, as King will work her way forward for the throw-in. We're back underway.
I think the referee just trying to stop the clock, make sure that they're not wasting too much time as they slowly walk to get the ball back into play.
We have a throw-in here off of the initial sign. There's a look at some of the numbers along the way. Lots of physicality from Oklahoma. That time, Weber is a bit shaken up. They have outshot North Texas 10-6, but North Texas has 4-3 in the shots on goal category, and they actually did award a corner here. The initial was a throw-in. Oh, no, they are going to say a throw-in. That was what the side referee did say.
And now the Sooners, they're just trying to wind that clock down, hold it into the corner. North Texas, you want to be aggressive and try to quickly get that ball back, but you have to be careful not to foul. That's just going to give more favor for the Sooners to try to run the clock.
Just over 5 remaining. Late goal here from the Mean Green would send this North Texas crowd into hysterics just to equalize and try and keep the streak alive. Have not lost a season opener since 2005. Nearly 20 years of season opening wins or draws on the line. They have not drawn since 2012.
You can tell Headland's trying to keep that streak alive, making 3 subs there, trying to get some fresh legs onto the field, hoping that will be the spark for North Texas to get an equalizer here. I think a good move, because as the clock's winding down, it was hot here. Feeling like over 100 right now still. Sun's well down. And so I think North Texas, they need some fresh legs. Hopefully get good energy to finish strong.
It was a crucial turnover in the Oklahoma attacking third that gave the opportunity to the Sooners. It was converted on by Morgan Eichelbarner, the breakaway, as she stole on a challenge, was all alone in the box, and sent it past Maddie Ogden for the first goal of the season. But now as time winds down, really all Oklahoma's trying to do is avoid a similar mistake, because they have been so clean and crisp on that back line, and the defense has been immaculate so far for the Sooners. And that was really what the strength of this program was going into the match. We thought 1-0, 1-0 would be a possibility, and we're seeing that play out because of how stout Oklahoma has been defensively.
Yeah, we knew going into this game it was going to be close. It wasn't going to be a big win for either side. So to see it at 1-0 right now is no surprise. It could be 1-0 either way, though. North Texas, they've certainly had their looks as well. They actually have more shots on goal than the Sooners right now. North Texas with 4, the Sooners with 3. So the Mean Green, they've had their chances.
Richards trying to win it back. It is out of play. Last touch by Oklahoma. Having that trio on the field at the same time, Brown, Richards, and Wesco may be the new norm for North Texas. That is a dangerous trio of forwards, and they're trying to find some sort of separation, some sort of window in the final 3.5.
And the thing is, with North Texas this year, and Coach Hedlund talked about this, he has said they have incredible depth because you have those 3 players, but you also have Flannery. She's a great forward for the Mean Green, and she will be seeing significant time this year. So, I mean, they are stout in every position.
This one just to the side of the flag for a throw in. Three minutes remain for North Texas in search of an equalizer. Good ball there to Richards. It's quickly turned away by Washington. Ahead for Brown. Brown regains possession for North Texas. They want to send it into the box. Ahead for Bailey Wesco. Can she win the race to the loose ball? Yes, she can. Picked up quickly on that back line, and there's that cohesiveness we just talked about. When it comes to Oklahoma, if one Sooner falters, another one arises, and that's what Cassie Clifton just did for her ball club.
Good thing she was able to do that, because that is the last person you want to have the ball in the box is Brown.
Yeah, if Clifton's not there, Brown has a clean shot from the right side. Maybe not a ton of time to set it up, so it would have had to be a perfect strike from Summer Brown. But a strike at any point from Brown is a significant chance for the Mean Green, as now a Sooner shaken up right behind the Oklahoma bench. That's Michelle Pack.
Here's that physicality just continuing to go. Both sides looking like they're wincing in some pain. But Pack looking like she got the rougher side of that tackle than Cunningham. Cunningham able to walk away just with a little bit of a limp.
Now it's King and Pack coming together. She'll get stretched down on the sideline, and it will be a free kick for Oklahoma. Foul number 9 charged to the Mean Green. 1:40 left. Not a ton of time, and right now you're just thinking about an equalizer if you're North Texas.
I know for North Texas, they're going to be desperately trying to get that goal with just 1:30 left in this game. You can see they're putting numbers up. They got 3 up top. But this is what you don't want to do, is fouls like this. That's just allowing Oklahoma to run the clock, take their time. And right now, the clock, it is not on the side of North Texas.
Yeah, just a slight push there from Major. Free kick out of play. Misplaced that time from Weber, but it does allow for some extra clock to run off.
Exactly. It's very clear they're not trying to go to goal at this point. They're just trying to send it into the corner, run the clock down. That's why we're seeing all these kicks. They look like they're misdirected, but that is a part of their game plan.
Oklahoma, with those 7 freshmen and 8 transfers, have a lot of excitement, a lot of expectations in year 1 with the SEC. picked to finish 13th in the conference preseason poll, but they have hopes and dreams far higher than 13th in the standings. They will start the season on the road against North Texas, trying to close out these final 20 seconds. And it looks like they're headed that direction. Up 1-0 off of a 29th minute goal from the junior, Morgan Eichelbarner, the Plano native back in the Dallas Metroplex, will give the Oklahoma Sooners a Game 1 win, ending North Texas's streak of 12 straight season-opening wins and handing the Mean Green their first season-opening loss since 2005.
And that one does sting. I mean, this loss is not your typical loss, knowing they had that winning tradition going into this game. But both teams, I think, really played a good game. You can see that there's areas that they need to work on, but